Hi there, Sheila Birdsall here. I was listening to a YouTube thing with Daniel Amen. He's studying the brain, and he brought up a couple of very interesting things about how the brain itself is actually like a soft stick of butter. It's soft, and it's sitting inside a very bony cage that has some prominences, protrudences, sharp edges, that kind of thing. So it's pretty easy to damage it, actually, and it doesn't take a lot. And then he went on to talk about how psychiatry is the only group of medical study that doesn't study the organ they're trying to relieve, shall we say. They don't look at this at the nature of the brain, what the brain is actually doing. Does it have protrusions? Is it lost mass? Is it whatever? What does it have? What is it doing? And he was talking about how his group has been looking at that and finding ways to actually work with the brain as a means of, getting it to, once again, reform itself, refresh itself, for lack of a better term. And also that the importance of sort of teasing it back into its workability. In other words, getting it to move from its steady rate of thinking. Even meditation was just another form of holding stationary the way the brain works instead of creating a lot of challenge for it, challenging it mentally to accept change. Okay? And, I'm all excited because my head's going 100 miles an hour. Bars does that. Excess bars does that. It both physically works with the actual components of electricity and manages the magnetics of the brain, and the studies have been done that show that it recalibrates it and different things happen with it, which is all very interesting. But what really fascinated me was verbal processing with access consciousness gets you outside any habit you have, which means it's stimulating your brain beyond like doing, say, your checkbook math or driving a car. Those are all habitual habits that your brain doesn't challenge itself with. It might increase by rote what it's doing, but it doesn't challenge it. So from experience, lots of experience, I know that every access consciousness verbal process that you have done, for an hour of that, you should have your bars done. Why? Because they intersect with each other. They work together to create and stimulate your brain to new function. So if you're looking at PTSD, or you're looking at Alzheimer's, or you're looking at anything that has to do with how the brain functions, depression, obsessive, compulsive, addictive, types of behaviors, you're going to have to retrain that brain into a new function, because it's not just going to magically show up as more without asking it to. It's not, in other words, it's not something you can say, now take this behavioral structural course and change yourself. Here's anger management, change your brain. Doesn't work that way. It's almost mean to ask those people. That's what he said. It's almost mean to ask people who need restructuring of their brain to do behavioral work before you help them restructure. And it just so happens that one of the access consciousness tools of the bars is restructuring. Duh, who would have guessed? So anyway, as you can tell, I'm excited. Come get your bars run. Take a bars class. If you've got people in your life who have these problems, you might know more than you think you do. Okay, share it with them. They need to know about this stuff. They're probably fighting an uphill battle if they're trying to get rid of depression and they're trying to get rid of suicidal tendency, and they need some help with their brain issues. Then a pill isn't going to do it. A pill doesn't restructure your brain. So let's have a conversation. Let's talk about this. Let's get some more done than we've been doing, okay? Because we are looking at an awful lot of people coming out of sports, coming out of war environments, coming out of car accidents with some severe brain trauma. And that particular type of trauma creates a lot of aggression. And we just don't need to do anything more to create more aggression in our society, and maybe we can do something to reverse it. What do you say? Shall we try? Thanks. Talk to you soon. Love ya. Bye.